So wood is a curious thing. I got the head off of that new cruiser that I was so excited about, and I got to looking at the handle, and at a glance I thought, well, I need to discard that handle and find a new handle. And I got to thinking about a conversation that Jerry from US Frame Crew and I had had in the past about he has this old axe that the handle just looks, pardon my language, but the handle looks like hell. It looks like an old piece of cracked up, dried out driftwood. But the axe, when he uses it, has a good solid feel, and he feels pretty comfortable with that axe. And then I got to thinking about this Hudson Bay. If you'll recall this Hudson Bay axe that I rehung, that I was super proud of this this new handle that I had found. The first time I used it, it cracked. And so I'm kind of looking at this handle, and at a glance, it looks pretty dried out. Looks pretty bad. But I think what I'm going to do, try and get some moisture back into that handle, and go ahead and actually rehang that old handle. It's not going to be ever put in a situation. This axe is going to be my axe. I decided I'm going to keep it. I like it. I like the shape of it. And so what I'll do is I'll soak this handle for a while, and then all I'll do is I'll just kind of whittle this shoulder here, and whittle this shoulder back just enough to bring the head back on the shoulder just a little bit more to get some of this material a little deeper in the head. And then I'll just put a really good wedge in it, and I'm going to see how it holds up. I'm not going to put it into really hard use, but I just want to see what happens, because like I said, wood is a curious thing. Alright, here I am back with the old cruiser handle. If you remember, before I stuck it in that water, it looked pretty dried out and pretty bad. And it's looking pretty good now. I soaked it in water for about 48 hours. I turned it on a pretty regular basis. Anytime I walk by the bucket, I just flip it in for in and let it really soak from both ends. And after 48 hours, I took it out and wire brushed it really good with the grain, and scraped a lot of I think it maybe had kind of like a lacquer that wasn't sticking very well or something, but it had sort of a film. After soaking for 48 hours, it had kind of an odd film to it, and so I wire brushed all that off with a hand brush, and then after that I scraped it with a Mora, and then sanded it some. And then after I let it set and dry for a little bit, it definitely felt heavier, but after I let it set and dry for a little bit, I've been putting Obanovs on it, and I put about 3 coats so far of Obanovs on it, and it's really looking nice. So I know it's got a lot of cracks and checks in it, but I think it's definitely sound, and it just looks really cool. In the meantime, I've been starting it on the head. I've done some test sharpening with a rough stone that I have, and it feels like it's got just the right hardness to it. You know, it just had a good feel in sharpening it. So now, while I once in a while add a little bit of Obanovs to this handle to let it really draw in lots of oil, I'm going to start working on this head a little bit. So looks like it's going to turn out really nice.